how to get paid for public speaking. So you are either beginning a public speaking career, or maybe you've been doing some speaking and you haven't gotten paid yet. And you are like, when can I make this into a professional career? How can I get paid in these public speaking gigs? And so you found your way to this video. And so I'm so excited to share how I started my public speaking career and how I made it into unpaid to paid. So welcome to my video. My name is Monica Reyes and I'm a TEDx speaker. I am founder of MonicaEReyes.com. I am a spiritual life coach, a Kundalini yoga instructor, and of course, I am here to tell you today how to get paid as a public speaker. So I started this journey off as speaking for free, right? I first decided, okay, so I want to do public speaking. And so I created opportunities at first because my community didn't know that I was a public speaker. So I found a way to create these opportunities so that I can speak. So I did a workshop, which I brought attendees to. And from there, I maybe asked to be on panels. And so I created a process actually that really allowed me to be very intentional and strategic about how I found my public speaking gigs. But step number one is to really let your audience know that you're a public speaker. Do you have it on your website? Is it on your Facebook? Is it on your Instagram bio? Who knows that you're a public speaker? You might not be able to get paid unless people actually know that you're a public speaker, right? It establishes authority. It establishes you as this public speaker. And so if there's an invitation for you to officially step into, I am a public speaker, not that I'm trying to be or I'm going to be, right? I am already a public speaker. And maybe you might need something in order to be able to do that. And so maybe explore what you might need personally in order to step into that, because it's all, right, we're talking about energy here. And so we want to officially step into the role. Once you've stepped into the role and you're telling people about it, spread the news, share some time. Maybe you've got some videos or something of you speaking. And if not, that's okay. That's totally okay. So then what you might need is footage. So the process that I did, and I still currently use, is I look ahead what conferences are being held from now until the next year. Is there anything within the target population that I'm looking to impact that are already going on? And then I go ahead and reach out with some sort of signature presentation that I've already created, right? And so if you haven't already created that, this might be a good idea to do. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to create the whole presentation, but at least the title and the bullet points, and wanting to make sure it's a fit and that it's like a differentiator. And so I email the organizers of these conferences, and usually I ask for, do you already have all your speakers or all your panelists? And so even being a panelist is great because you can still be impactful, you can still tell your story, people will still feel moved. I get people from coming up from the crowd, the audience after in a panel. I've gotten speaking engagements from being in a panel, other opportunities. So being on a panel is a great thing. In fact, I love being on a panel because it allows you to collaborate, and it's much easier to answer questions in that interview setting than it is to kind of get up and speak. So that's one strategy. Another strategy of creating your opportunities to get started and to get paid is to find out existing organizations, associations, chambers that also host your target audience and reaching out to them. So there are lots of local organizations that have members, paying members, that these members are expecting, and they've promised these members to have these sort of maybe these workshops or meetings or speeches. And so they're always constantly looking for people like you. So reach out. All we have to do is ask. And so I've gotten so many opportunities by doing those two strategies, simply by asking, simply by putting myself out there. And then you'll start to see, you'll eventually build a circuit. And I probably should have mentioned this from the get-go, but one of the things that you want to do as well is to set the intention. How many speaking engagements do you want? How many do you want? Do you believe that you should be paid? Or, do you believe that it's possible? And if so, how much would you like to be paid for? And I'm saying in making an essence on belief because of the way that we create our reality, it's all about what you believe. If you don't believe that you deserve to be paid, then you might not. I mean, there's a high likelihood that you won't, because it's only going to match what you believe. But if you believe that it's possible, if you believe that in infinite possibilities that anything is possible, that I may be paid, I may not, now you're leaving it open for the universe. Now you're leaving it open for infinite possibilities. But the minute we say, I believe what this exists, now we're putting certainty on that probability. So that's probably step number one, is that setting that intention, then checking out what's out there after you've established who it is that you want to speak in front of, and finding out those opportunities. So really gaining exposure, having people know who you are. Obviously, going out there and networking and finding out, letting people know that you're a speaker, putting that on your business card, as I mentioned. Really establishing that authority. And at one of those speeches, getting footage, having somebody film that, even if it's on the phone for now, but then posting a clipping of that on your social media, putting that on your website. And when you are applying to speak in some of these conferences, they're going to ask you for a short video. Eventually, what you want to get is a speaking reel, and it's basically a trailer of you. It's like all of your best hits. It's like this commercial of you speaking, in essence, and it's promoting you to speak. Another thing that a speaker that I know does really well is he has testimonials. So he has his banner that he brings along with him, and he videotapes the speech, because he uses that. I mean, he's gotten so great at this. He has gotten, he puts those speeches online, and then he gets them picked up by huge publicity, huge, PR companies, which end up with like millions of followers, millions of views for that one video. But he also schedules like a testimonial. So he does something so moving. He does the speech so moving, and then he has the initial reactions of the audience, and he videotapes them, and then he hears them. He hears, the video, the audience. You hear the audience members saying, wow, that was so motivating. It's so amazing. I felt so inspired. Like, it's a real-time assessment and accurate description of how they feel, which is what people, those event booking people, those organizers want to know, especially when they don't know who you are. Like, if they don't know who you are, they've never heard you before, they want to see evidence. They want to see you speak. They want to make sure that you're not going to be hired and they're going to pay you a lot of money, and then you're going to show up at the stage and not vibe with the audience, not be prepared, right? So they're, just think of it as like getting a job or some sort of project. You're going to want to provide them with that proof that you're worth it, that the audience loves you. So testimonials are really great as well. Some sort of evidence of some sort, the video, footage, and then eventually a speaker's reel could be really, really beneficial. But that's really it, is just ask, be intentional, be strategic. Also, show evidence, show proof, show testimonials, and start to build your portfolio, and put that all on your website, share that on social media, and you will see I get speaking engagements out from the woodworks, from like somebody that I swam with in college. We need a speaker to, oh wow, I heard you years ago and I heard this opportunity and I gave your name, so just really, really, there's so much that you can do when you start to really get into this, and eventually it will, it will become paid. Moving from unpaid to paid starts with the internal. So believing that you're worth it, seeing your own value, is really an important first step in the transition of unpaid to paid. When I first got my first paid gig, I couldn't believe it. It was more money than I thought that I would ever get paid for. And, and so each time it's upped me. I've staircased it into a higher price, but each time I staircase it to that higher price is a little uncomfortable for me. So it's all about belief. And once I'm able to get comfortable in that zone, then those are the gigs that I get. Also being very clear with what you're asking from the universe. Like, I want 1 to 2 speaking engagements a week. Are they paid? Are they unpaid? Right? Because the universe will provide you with whatever the easiest free energy is. So just making sure that whatever you're asking for is clear, and maybe even getting even more intentional. Like, I want 1 to 2 paid speaking engagements, or this month, each month I want this amount of money coming in from speaking engagements. So being intentional and using spirituality and energy to support you, leveraging the universe to really hit those goals of becoming a paid public speaker. And obviously, and there are so many organizations as well that support this. If you need to practice more, to feel like you want to get more well-versed or more confident, Toastmasters, and then there's National Speakers Association that provides incredible trainings and support in order for you to really bump yourself into that professional category. So I hope that you got value out of this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments about it or you have any other tips, I would love to hear them. Please go ahead and comment. And if you want more videos like this, please subscribe and hit that bell, because every time you do, you get to know when a new video is released. So I hope that you have a beautiful day. I'm so honored that you were here and that you listened to my message. And as always, make it a great day.